Okay, today is December the 12th, 2015. We're watching the rainbow color infrared loop for the Northeast Pacific, and we're watching a very large area of high pressure develop being installed right here over the west coast in preparation for this storm system here. And also there's an upper level low pressure right out here, which has a HAARP transmitter on it. We have a transmitter right through this area to keep this huge storm front from mixing with this moisture field here. Let's go ahead and look at the jet stream map first, and we can understand better what's going on. Here we have jet stream flow that's moving again right into the west coast and diving down over California, Nevada, and part of Utah, and then moving down into Mexico and making a U-turn and back out to the northeast. So California is right under this jet stream flow, and we have a huge storm moving right into Alaska. This is a 928 millibar, a very powerful storm, and so a lot of this moisture can make its way right down on the 300 millibar jet stream into the west coast. All right, so let's go back and look at the map and see what's going on here. We have, this is a low pressure, upper level, mid and upper level low system right here, and there's a HAARP transmitter right on that. We'll take a look at the pressure maps showing that they've got high pressure right on top of that. And we have high pressure all through here. This is man-made. This is a HAARP transmitter all through here to keep this storm front from this 928 millibar system from getting mixed up with this low pressure system right here, which has a tail that is moving right into the west coast on the jet stream. And this should be moving right down into California, but it's not. The jet stream flow is being interrupted once again by artificially installed high pressure. This is man-made high pressure. It's artificial, and it is designed to stop the flow into California. And that, we're seeing this day after day. Okay, so we have another storm right up here. This is a hurricane force low pressure system that's moving in over Canada and Washington State. And again, we have this jet stream flow that moves in and then moves right down through the west coast and makes a U-turn right down here over Mexico and then right back up to the northeast. Well, we see that there's a huge area missing from this moisture field right over California and down. This whole area is missing, and that's because they've got this HAARP transmitter right here focusing heat to clear the area out because we've got three upper level storm systems right here. These two are designated as storms. This is just a upper level low pressure that is being squashed out. It's important enough that they would isolate it. We can see the channel here that they've developed with the phased array transmitter right here to keep this front, which is mushrooming right into that high pressure. You can see that. Okay, let's look at some of these other maps. We have the surface pressure analysis right here, and we can see this is a hurricane force storm right off of Washington State, 974 millibar hurricane force. It's got a large front, cold front, being met with this stationary high pressure. Once again, this is always here. Here's California and the west coast. Right here, that's all high pressure. We have that upper level low right just north of Hawaii. Here's Hawaii. Right up here is an upper level low. They show this as a trough, but yet they have a high pressure indicated, and that's because they've got a high all through here to keep these two fronts separated. That's what we were just talking about. Now up here we have a very strong 928 millibar hurricane force storm. That's moving right into Alaska, and we'll take a look at that. So there's a lot going on. These are very large systems. This one here will probably move over towards the west coast in a few days from now. Okay, let's take a look at the Western U.S. water vapor map, and we can see the size of that storm system moving right in over Vancouver Island right here. That's got a transmitter on it as well. Right there, the heat is on that core. We have heat all through this area. We can see that, and this is that moisture field from that upper level low. It's moving right into the west coast. It should be turning down south and moving right into California and Nevada and down and making that U-turn, but there's a big void right here because of this HAARP generated high pressure once again. Okay, let's look at the next map. This is the the color infrared map, and we can see the clockwise rotation where that concentration of high pressure is being focused right here, and we see an interruption right here in the jet stream right here, and also right down through here. This is coming down and making a U-turn, but all that moisture is missing. We have dry air that is moving through here. There's still airflow, but it's just not moisture laden. So that's what's happening. Let's look at the, this is Alaska. We can see that very strong, powerful Hurricane 4 storm bearing down on Alaska. 928 millibar. It's got a HAARP transmitter right on the core. We can see that very dry core right there with heat on it. Okay, let's look at this in the, this is the infrared loop. This is mostly red, very, very heavy rain. So Alaska is about to get hit again by a very powerful storm. Okay, let's look at the next map. This is the East Pacific water vapor loop. A couple of days ago, we were talking about a counterclockwise spinning vortex right southwest of Cabo San Lucas. Well, that system has been completely destroyed, and this is what's left of it. They've killed it off with a transmitter. It's no longer, so this is drifting off on the current. That would have spun up into a hurricane. Okay, this is what was left of that low pressure right here. All right, so that was killed off. All right, next we have the Eastern U.S. And we can see that low pressure system that just moved right through Southern California yesterday. And you can see that it's rebuilding. It still has heat on it from a transmitter. HAARP transmitter is putting descending air on this core, but it still is rebuilding. It's being fed by this other moisture field right here coming up through Mexico. So this is strengthening, and it is moving right up towards the northeast. And we have another area of high pressure. This is all artificial high pressure right here. And that is keeping this area of moisture away from this counterclockwise spinning system right down here off of Cuba. So we've got a big channel of dry air right through here to keep this situation here separated from what's happening here. Now, the northeast is going to get some wild weather here in about 2 or 3 days, maybe less than that. We can see that all of this is going to wind up and move right over, spinning basically in a clockwise manner. We've got this high pressure here. Okay, let's look at this in the rainbow loop, the infrared loop. There's a lot of intense rain moving through Texas and Oklahoma and up through Iowa and up through that area, Michigan. So all that's going to wind around and end up going probably into Pennsylvania, New York, and out that way. And this high pressure that's down here is keeping these coastal states fairly dry for the most part compared to what we're seeing over here. That's very heavy rain. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at these pressure maps. This is the sea level pressure map. And we can see a low indicated here. This is that low that's generating a tail of moisture moving into the west coast. Now, this is a high pressure ridge right here, but yet this is a low. So there's a spinning low. We were looking at this. Let's go back to it real quick. Right here. This is that system that's trying to spin counterclockwise. That's an upper level low, and so the tail is moving. The moisture tail is moving right into California, and they are hitting that with heat, and that is showing up right here as a high pressure ridge on this surface pressure map, even though that's indicated as a low. We've got high pressure all through here, and that is winding all this weather away from California. We've got this storm up here and another big storm up there, and a high right here to keep these two fronts as a storm front separated from this low pressure system that's feeding a lot of moisture into the west coast. So they've got a high parked here, and here to keep this all separated. All right, so the next thing is what's going to happen here. We don't know yet. This could move down into our area. It's hard to say. Probably not. I'm going to say no rain. All right, here's the 500 millibar. They show the low out here. This is that upper level low. And the jet stream moving right down, right through the west coast. Okay, let's take a look at the 300 millibar. See that low pressure here? Everything's moving into the west coast. Ideal for rain, except for the fact that they've got this man-made HAARP generated high pressure that is going to keep everything dried out. All right, here is the ocean swell report for the Northeast Pacific. And we can see that off of California, from central California on down to the border, we're having 20-foot seas, 18 and 15-foot swells all through this entire area, all the way up to about the Bay Area. It's all very, very high swells. And then up off of Washington, we have 34-foot swells where that hurricane force storm, we were showing you that. So, and plus there's 2 more storms out here that are generating a lot of high seas. So we'll keep an eye on all that, and we will do an update tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching.